Good morning, everybody. Hello. Sorry about the mix-up there. The restream was not working properly, so I had to stop the stream and restart it again. But we are live. I don't know why it says we're doing Medieval Dynasty, but hey, good morning, Faith. How are you? How are you this morning? Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, Twitch. Good morning, Kick. And good morning, Faith. Let's get back into our Long Dark. We are on day 360. We're almost at 1 year. We're at 1 year, the 1 year mark. And we just killed the bear in Forsaken Airfield. We've got some cooking to do. And we got some mapping to do. But we're going to be doing that all today. And then later today, we got Subnautica coming up. So that's going to be good times as well. All right. I do have this old bed. I found another bedroll here, which is kind of cool. That's a backup bedroll. There we go. Okay, we're below weight. Let's go out here. We'll drop the travois, and we'll bring the lovely bear back to us, to our cave. Because we killed the bear right out here by the rock. Got them all harvested up. We just need to get them drugged back to the cave so we can eat them. We did get a couple pieces cooked up already. Good God, and the wind, of course, is blowing right in our face, as usual. Because that's what wind does in Long Dark. You can probably grab some charcoal out of here. There we go. 300. We're at 360 right now. 360 right now, Rusher. We'll be hitting 1 year today, so it's our 1 year anniversary. Let's deploy that. Oh, I know you're cold, Will. I know it. But welcome in, Rusher. How you doing? Yumiko, how are you? Vela, how are you doing today? Hello. Throw all that bear meat in there. Throw all those in there. It is cold out. We're already cold. We just walked out here and we're already cold. That's how chilly it is.
So cold.
All right, let's grab the travois. This is where the travois really shines. We've basically taken a whole bear back to the cave with us, so... And then we can cook them up inside the cave. We got a lot of exploring to do in this zone, though. There's lots of exploring. Oh, my stars, you're here. You're just lurking. Well, welcome in and have a great lurk, my friend. So today we got Long Dark for the next about 3 hours, and then we're going to be doing some Subnautica for about 3 hours this afternoon. So that's going to be a ton of fun because we are slowly but surely progressing our way through Subnautica and having a blast doing it. Do I want the fire back here? Not really. Alright. Sort of want to put the fire... Where's the line? Alright, there's the line right there. I sort of want to put the fire right over here. Any mag lens chance? No. Of course not. So we'll just use a match. Always have to check the mag lens, though. Always check your mag lens chance of making a fire. Because it's always better to make it with a mag lens if you can. Survive the outdoors, we can burn that. We already got fire making 5. There we go. Get some coal on it. We're gonna bring this back out here. There we go. And let's take everything from there. Let's go ahead and drop all the raw meat here. There we go. We'll drop the good meat over here. Hey, Elcor, how you doing? Alright, we got 2 big pieces on there. There's nothing in there right now. Let's grab the travois, whatever it is. We'll grab the sled. We'll drop these guts down over here underneath the bear hide. There we go. Now I don't even have to look at them. All right, and then we got food cooking here. That's awesome. How much water do I have? I do not have much water, so we should probably make a little water while we're here too. We'll make another fire as well. Might as well have double fires going. That way we can just get stuff cooked up. We can have some water cooking on one, some food cooking on the other. This fire won't last as long, but that's okay. Alright, we'll get those off of there. There we go. Get a little more water done here. And then we'll grab a couple big pieces of meat. Get those cooking over here as well. Now that we got some water on us. Bam! Alright. And it's shaping up to be a mighty nice day out here, of course. Of course, when I want to cook the bear, that's when the weather's the nicest out here. So we're right over here right now. I think I might go up while that stuff's cooking and see if I can get a little mappity-boo up top here. Oh, there's a deer over. Oh, is this my deer? Oh, this is my deer. This is the deer that I shot. Okay. Can I touch it? There we go. Mainly want the hide and the guts, and I'll take all the rest of it too. We do need to. Just lay down for a bit. Let's go ahead and throw the stuff in here.
This gear's starting to slow me down.
Got to get back. Our food is done. And it's going to be burning here soon if we don't get back fast enough. But now we have the deer meat, and we have a hide and guts as well. The deer hide and the deer guts. That was the main reason we came out here, is to hunt that deer. And then we shot it, and it ran away, and I was like, oh, well, there's the bear. I guess we can get him instead. Wasn't my first choice, but hey. Sometimes in Long Dark, you can't be choosy. I just switched from Imperial to metric in game. How many kilos of deer meat constitutes a full belly? Like 2? Oh no, those burned. Oh, that makes me sad. Those burned. That makes me so sad. I think it's about maybe 3 kilos. I mean, are you talking like you're completely hungry, like you have like almost no food in your belly at all? It's probably going to be about 3 kilos. So yeah, I'm wrong on that. It's probably closer to 3 kilos at that point. Because each piece gives you about 1,000 cal. Well, it depends. If you have cooking 5, each piece gives you about 1,000 calories. If you don't have cooking 5, I think it's about what, 8 to 900 calories. So you're gonna probably have to eat at least 2, probably 3 to have that full belly. There we go. Actually, let's eat a piece of... Now, a piece of bear meat, that's 1,100 calories, so that's gonna give you a lot. Probably a couple of those, because I think the total number of calories you can have is what, 20? I think it's 2,400, 2,500 is 25. Okay, so yeah, that's gonna be about 2.5 pieces of deer meat at full. It's gonna be 2.5 to 3 pieces, depending on where your cooking skill is at. A lot of it just depends on your cooking skill at that point. Because the higher your cooking skill, the more, calories you get. So 1 kilo gives you about 800 to 1,000. There we go. Now, if you got bear meat, moose meat, that's gonna give you substantially more. Because you're gonna start out at like 900 to 1,000 on those, and it's only gonna go up from there. So, Alice, good morning, good morning. There we go. Woo! Okay. We got the bear. We're getting the bear cooking up. We got the deer harvested. I honestly did not ever think we'd see that deer again, so I'm actually kind of surprised we did. Yeah, a little barbecue to start the day off. Yep. And mainly, I'm not concerned about cooking all of this. I mean, it'd be great if we could, but we're out of firewood now. We've used all of our firewood on these fires. So, if we can cook them all up, that's great. If we can't, it's not that big of a deal. Oh, that fire's got nothing left in it. Can I make a couple teas on it at least? Yes, I can. There we go. $14 and $13, we'll do it. We'll get that, and we will do it with the knife. But yes, but Bella, I personally, I mean, I don't use metric in day-to-day life, but I like using metric in this game. Because it's so much easier to figure everything, to figure all the all the weights and stuff. Because it's all base value of 10, so it's way easier to do. I started deer boots by mistake. I want to make deer pants. Can I salvage the resources, or do I have to start from fresh? You cannot salvage the resources, as far as I know. I mean, once you finish them, you can rip them apart and get a deer skin back. But I don't know if you can actually salvage the resources once you start it. Until you actually finish the item. Once you finished it, you can rip it apart and get something, but I don't think you can actually get anything from the get-go. Alright, these are all... those are all small pieces, okay. Good God, I got like a frog in my throat this morning. Very uncomfortable. Okay, let's get some water going. We are a little bit thirsty. Grab the charcoal. Why am I not getting a teardown thing for that? That's weird. Huh. That's strange. I'm getting no option to tear that fire down. That's very, very weird. Alright. Got one more big piece here. Then we got some little pieces. These are all little pieces of bear meat. I'll just get one big piece of venison as well. Alright. We got our little bear meats here. And then we're gonna sort out the deer meat as well. Get all this nice and arranged so we can just come in here and pick up whatever we want, whenever we want it. Because this will sort of be our outward base of operations here in Forsaken Airfield. There's not a lot of caves in Forsaken Airfield. They're around, but there's not a lot of them. So ones like this Bear's Cave are really important just to kind of keep a little base of stuff in here. That way you aren't without a shelter or refuge that you can go to. That's a tiny piece of deer meat. That's a large piece of deer meat, I'm pretty sure, yep. I'm gonna separate this out so I can see what I'm working with. Okay. There's a large piece of deer meat, too. Another large piece of deer meat. Wow, I'm finding all the big ones. Usually I'd run into more small ones first, because I know there's 4 of these small pieces in here. Another small piece. Alright, there's all 4 of the small pieces. Then we got the large ones here first. Let's get those cooked up. I mean, I guess I could cook the small pieces first. And then we can go from there. So yeah, Bavella, if you I mean, deerskin pants are really good to have anyway. I mean, ultimately on Long Dark Interloper, you want to have deerskin pants and boots. You want to have all that stuff. You don't want to go without. So I'd ultimately make both deerskin pants and deerskin boots anyway. So I'd say there's nothing wrong with that at all. We'll eat these small pieces up. Let's get him cooked up as well. So that gives us what, like 20 pieces of bear meat? Oh, Jesus. Thank you, Duke, for the bear apocalypse there. No, we were apocalyptic on the bear. The bear did not apocalypse us. We apocalypted him. Let's just put those down real quick. Oops. Those will only take 8 minutes to get done. Now this here is these here are the smaller ones. Thank you for the posture check there. I'm having a great weekend. Today we got Long Dark and Subnautica on the docket. And I might even do a Civilization 6 start today as well. By the way, boys and girls, if you've ever, if you've been watching Civilization 6 that I do on YouTube, if you've been watching Hadrian, if you've watched Hadrian Civilization 6, and you've ever thought, wow, that'd be a fun game, I wish I could get it, but damn, it's really super expensive. Right now, Civilization 6 is on sale for 90% off. So you could get the entire game, the entire bundle. I'm just curious what the entire bundle would cost. Well, you can get the game for $5.90, the base game for $5.99 right now. And the anthology edition of the game, yeah, the entire game is just like super cheap right now. Yeah. Oh wow. Yes. There's so much that yeah. It's so cheap right now. It's 90% off. It's literally like $5.99 for the base game. It doesn't show me what the price on the anthology is though. That kind of annoys me. That's kind of annoying. But yeah, if you ever want to get Civ 6, it's a great time to get it. You're looking forward to the later trader update? You know, it's going to be interesting to see how they implement the trader. Sure, this is Stalker, I found Mucklucks, so the deer boots are kind of unnecessary at the moment. Yeah, if you got the Mucklucks, the deer boots are definitely unnecessary. Yeah, if you're on Stalker, the need for skin clothing is not as great as if you're on Interloper or something harder than that. Leone, how you doing? Hello, hello. So yeah, definitely go and check out. Definitely go and check out Civ 6 if you've ever been interested. It's a really, really good price right now. And believe me, that game will suck up your time. That game will get you going. All right, let's drop those. We're gonna get almost all of the meat cooked out. Really? It's not even Subnautica yet. That I internally just like jumped about 50 feet. You didn't see it, but my leg like twitched. That sound gives me such bad flashbacks. All right.
I'm gonna have to leave something behind.
Okay. That should be. EA sucks. I used to play an awesome MMO called Earth and Beyond, and they drove it into the ground. Some EA does suck. Yes, I'll give you that. I'll grant you that. All right, let's get some water in us. We're just gonna let that burn down because that's only got 30 minutes. It'll probably be okay. Even if it burns that meat, we don't really care. You know, Melissa, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm not gonna shame anyone if they like EA. Is that Electronic Arts? Is that Electronic Arts or Early Access? See, there's two forms of EA now. There's Electronic Arts and there's Early Access. So are you talking about Electronic Arts or are you talking about Early Access games? Because it always confuses me. People say EA, and it's like I always, whenever I see EA, I immediately think Electronic Arts. That's just me. Oh, okay. It is okay. Electronic Arts, yes. Well, Electronic Arts is mainly known for their like Madden games, like the Madden and that sort of stuff. They're really known for those. That's like huge for them. All right, well, it's not morning yet. But Melissa, over on YouTube, I'm doing fantastic. We've got a great run going today. We're doing good. We've got our Subnautica coming up later this afternoon. And I may just go crazy and do a little Civilization 6 tonight as well. or start a Civilization 6 run because Civilization 6 is on sale right now for 90% off on Steam. So it's like super duper cheap right now, which is really cool. Really, really cool. Okay, let's go ahead and just sleep a little bit longer here, if we can. We aren't tired enough. So let's get ourselves a little tireder. Actually, you know what? Let's look at our tools and see if we can sharpen anything up. Yeah, let's sharpen that up one time. The maximum sharpening skill you can have gives you 5 back. So if something's at 95% or lower, you can sharpen it up. Like this year, we can only get 5% back, so we might as well sharpen it up. Have it 100% hatchet, 100% knife. So far, we haven't been forced to create any new weapons or any new tools because we've been able to find enough of these nice little whetstones to keep them all happy. Let's see, can we repair any clothing? I can repair that. We almost have level 5 mending, so we might get level 5 mending with any mend. Any mend could give us level 5. Speaking of which, called it, nailed it, loved it, hated it. Okay, so we got level 5 mending, so we have 100% chance of successful repair. Repair times decreased by 40%. We get 25% greater item increase, condition increase, and with 35% reduction of sewing kit wear. And that also translates to 35% less fishing tackle wear as well. So that translates to both of those. Which is super duper nice. Well, I knew it was close, April or Melissa. I knew it was really close. Again, April, good morning.
I made it through
Hello. All right, we made it through another night. What's our weight? 44. I say we grab. Excuse me, fire. Okay, you need to just get out of here. You need to go. You need to go. There you go. Just get out of my way. Thank you. I'm so glad they allowed us to start tearing down fires. It's so nice that we can actually start doing that.
Too heavy.
Because I remember the days when you couldn't do that, and it sucked. You'd have fires sitting around, and you'd be like, man, I just wish this fire was not here. All right, we're going to head back over towards the... We're going to head back over towards the airfield. It's a beautiful day. We got a little mapping to do on our way back over here. I think I'm going to get up to that little high point there and try to map from that. And I'm doing this mainly to take some food back to the airfield as well as get a little mapping done on the way back to the airfield. And then we're going to go... I'm trying to remember where the other Polaroid is in this zone. We got the one in the truck up there. I almost think the Polaroid is up in the hut that's over there for some reason. Does anybody know in chat? Because I want to get the 2 Polaroids done up before we start doing a ton of mapping. I know this side of the map needs a lot of mapping manually. But does anybody remember where the second Polaroid in this zone is? Because we got the one in the truck up at the Junker's paddock. That's where the first one is, and that gave us the Polaroid that goes all the way up here. So if anybody in chat knows, let me know. It's no big deal. I found it. I found that Polaroid 100 times before. Well, not 100 times. I found that Polaroid many times before. So if not, I'll look it up by the time. If nobody knows by the time we get back to the airfield, I'll just look it up.
Freezing.
Alright, that gave us a little bit more area. I know you're freezing. We are going to, we're going to suffer that freezing a little bit because we want to map.
Drop any of this gear.
Let's see here. Oh, okay, I don't know what just popped up there. There we go. On the table in the island cottage. Okay, it is the island cottage. Yep. Table in island cottage. Yep, I just looked it up too. I was too impatient, Faith. I was like, well, I'm looking it up now too. Now that I want to know, I'm looking it up as well. Alright. God, this place is so huge. It seems like, oh, the airfield's just a little bit of a walk away from here. I mean, just in mapping, we've done 2 maps and we're still not even to the spotter's blind yet. We're not even to the spotter's blind yet, so... Yeah, this zone, there's only 2 spots where the Polaroid appears. I honestly like the randomness of the other Polaroid location areas. You know, like how Ash Canyon, there's literally like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different locations for the Polaroids in Ash Canyon. The sucky thing is the Ash Canyon Polaroids don't really uncover jack squat, but it's nice that there's like 9 of them around. All right, there's where the blind is. Yeah, I hate the wind here too. The wind is the most frustrating thing in this zone. Yeah, it's sucky that the zone that has the most spots to find the Polaroids in has 2 of the crappiest Polaroids in the game. That give you like little tiny areas that you don't even really get that much from. Oh, here comes the wolves, baby. 1, 2, 3. What? Oh my God. No. Wow. Okay, that was uncalled for. That was completely uncalled for. Oh, Jesus criminy. No. God, the airfield's so friggin' far away. So far away. Well, that was a heart stopper moment. All right, we made it. Stupid wolf. All right, let's eat a prepper's pie. Let's eat our last prepper's pie. That'll help get us our health back. Got some more health back. There we go. I'm just gonna drop the meat here because I don't care.
Right here.
I know you can just lay down right here. That's exactly what you're gonna do. Wow. So our bedroll's fine. Let's check our clothing. I have a feeling that wolf barely hurt our clothing. Yeah, that wolf didn't even touch our clothing, really. Yeah, that wolf did nothing to our clothing. That was a complete health wolf. That wolf just wrecked our health. That's all he wanted was our health. All he wanted was the health. Wow. Wowzer, wowzer, wowzer. Okay, well, that was fun. I probably still have some of that prepper's pie left. Yeah, let's eat the rest of that prepper's pie. That'll give us a little more health back. It does give us the burden for 8 minutes. But it does give us a little bit of health back. Yeah, that wolf was very rude. Alright, I'm gonna drop 3 of those pies here. Very, very rude wolf. Very rude. But we made a good recovery. I still got 2 stems left as well. Okay, we are pretty tired. Oh, I need to drop some stuff off at the airfield. Duh. What was I thinking? I need to drop some stuff off. I don't know what that wolf was thinking. You know, Mr. Wolf, you're starting to bother me. God damn it. Get back here. Stinky Mr. Wolf. I took like 6 shots at you and you still just confounded me. Okay, we aren't gonna play with the wolves any. We aren't dancing with wolves. Gosh dang it. Yeah, that wolf had some sick moves, man. He was bobbing and weaving. Good morning, Kenneth. How you doing? Just tuning as the wolf. He hits me. Yeah. Yeah, that wolf I was shooting at too, just bobbing and weaving all over. He's like, you can't get me, you can't get me. Yeah, get him on a football team, man. Give him the ball every time. He'll be like, yeah, look at this, look at this. You can't catch me, can't touch me, can't touch me. All right, we do need a couple pieces of coal. I need to drop this bedroll. We now have a backup bedroll here, so that's nice. Backup bedroll. Back up the bedrolls, boys and girls. All right, let's drop this gun in here. I don't know why I have it on me. Let's drop a couple pieces of leather in here. Oh, we can't drop anything else in here. Haha! This thing is completely full. What does it have in here? Wow, it has tons of stuff in here, doesn't it? Get that out of there. Get those out of there. The book out of there.
Getting kind of heavy.
Shh. Let's grab one more of those out of there. Grab one more of those out of there. Grab a couple more of those out of there. Let's leave these light teas in here for right now. There we go. All right, second drawer. We're gonna leave the metal. Gonna leave the mushrooms, the burdock root. Actually, the mushrooms and the burdock root I'm gonna put up top, because those kind of go with this stuff here. There we go. The way you're saying that, get out of here, just remind me of Star Wars. Stay on target. Get that out of here. Stay on target. Stay on target. I'll keep one more leather on me. Okay. Oh, there's the arrowheads. We can put those in there. All right. Second stuff. Let's go ahead and put the cans in there and those in there. Let's put a couple of sewing kits in here. Sewing kits can go up top, actually. This is sort of stuff I don't really care about in the second drawer. Stuff I do care about is going in the first drawer. It's top drawer. Top drawer material, so. There we go. I'm gonna break those extra torches down real quick. Did I find any birds in the airfield? I have not yet, no. I don't know. Oh no, I did. Did I get some ptarmigans here? I can't remember if I did. No, I found ptarmigans, a lot of ptarmigans in in the last zone. In the zone right before this. There's a lot of ptarmigans in the transfer pass. I don't remember if I've gotten any ptarmigans in this zone or not. I want to say I think I have, but I can't honestly remember because my brain is mush. I am going to take one flare with me. That's always nice to have. Yesterday I had birds. Okay, I guess I had birds yesterday. How did you get rid of scurvy? So to get rid of scurvy, Yumiko, you need to eat a lot of vitamin C items. The best stuff you can eat is cans of tomato soup and peaches. You can also eat cattails, fish. Fish is a good renewable resource of it. Birch bark tea is not bad. So you just have to eat as much vitamin C stuff as you possibly can. It won't go away until you get the vitamin C in your system. Until it does, you lose health every single day, every single hour that you have it. Every single hour that you have it, you'll lose condition. So you gotta be super conscious of that, and not go outside and take a lot of other damage, because you can die. All right, there is a little hut over here that we're gonna go to. God, now I'm just so nervous about the wolves. There's a little hut we're gonna go over to here that we haven't been in yet. We're gonna check it out. And then we're gonna continue up to the island and get the Polaroid from there. And then we're gonna travel up to here and use that Polaroid. I want to go check this plane out, too.
It's making me feel tired.
I know it's making you feel tired. Actually, you know what? I want to check this out over here as well. I switched over to this really nice, yummy soap. I got this new soap that... it has like cinnamon in it. Ooh, it smells so good. I smell like a little cinnamon bun. Like a little Cinnabon. I'm a Cinnabon boy. But it does smell really good. Hey, Bad Boy Gamer, how you doing, buddy? Good morning, good morning. Meatloaf and mashed potatoes. You know what I like? And I like leftover meatloaf. My mom makes me my mom used to make me. She doesn't anymore. My mom used to make me meatloaf sandwiches out of our leftover meatloaf. And man, oh man, I would love to get those in my lunch. I always knew it was going to be a great day at school when I got a nice meatloaf sandwich in my lunch. Yum, yum. Let's see. Oh, I love to smell good, Faith. I'm like a chick when it comes to that. I love nice smelling soaps. Okay, this wolf we're gonna take out. Are they running faster than they should, or is that just me? Am I the one who's crazy, or are they running faster than they should? But I love like soap smells. I'm not a big cologne guy though. I don't really like I don't even like perfume on girls that much. Gals that use too much perfume, it's gross, in my opinion. I like it if they use like a really nice like shampoo that smells good, or body soap that smells good. That's the sort of stuff I like. But too much perfume, ugh. That's kind of a turnoff, to be honest. That's kind of a turnoff. That doesn't really do it for me. Try to do another stream on Planet Crafter after lunch. Nice. Nice. Yeah, we're gonna be doing our Subnautica run here later today, so that's gonna be fun. And then I'm gonna actually do a Civilization 6 run later this evening. We're actually gonna do that Cyrus, the challenge they have a challenge out right now in Civilization 6. It's like a limited time thing that you can do through, I think, through the 14th of next month.
Where's the
so we got a couple of weeks to do it. There's a piece of paper. Yeah, oh, we got some matches. Yeah, that wolf was booking, baby. That's probably one of the, I'm not like making excuses, but that's probably one of the reasons
I need to drop something.
I missed that other wolf, is that they're coming so fast that it's kind of hard to, it's faster than I'm used to. Let's just put it that way. It's faster than I'm used to on that. So, all right. So we got these Aqua Pure tablets, which is great. We'll use those up. Got this big thing of jerry can, a big jerry can there. Atheenon, the wolves are evolving. Yeah, they're like, we will not fall for your puny tricks, human. We are now the apex predator, sucker. All right.
I'm so tired.
I know you are, buddy. Oh boy, so what you're saying is I'm gonna miss something good when they take my mom out to dinner tonight. Yes, you will. But you can always catch it on the rerun on the YouTube's, Faith. You can catch it on YouTube, or you can watch the VOD here on Twitch. So you have those options available to you. It's not like it'll be gone forever, so. Alright, we got all our health back. That's nice. Okay. All my tools are in great shape. I'm loving it. I keep forgetting I have the shortwave radio. I keep forgetting about that. Ooh. Oh. Beat up some cattails. We got a bunch of them. They don't give you... The cattails only give you, like, 1 vitamin C. But that's it. Yep, I try to catch up. Nice. Well, the thing is, Faith, that I probably won't do another... I mean, the Cyrus run will probably take us a little while. So I'll be doing it over the next, like, little while here, so... is there cold for mapping? Oh, yes, there is cold for mapping. They've now got cold in there for mapping again, Faithless. Yeah, we haven't got much. I'm going and getting the Polaroids first because I want to uncover everything I can with the Polaroids and then go finish up the map without them. I've done a little bit of mapping down here because I do know that some of this, like this over here, does not get uncovered with the Polaroid. Like, most of this that I'm doing right now actually will be uncovered by the Polaroid, but, because there's one Polaroid that's up here, and there's another one that's on a cliff that's right above the airfield here. So... I know that most of the airfield will be uncovered by the Polaroid, so I gotta go get that though, and that's over on the little island, which is sort of over in this area here. And that sounds like a storm. That doesn't sound good. Sun is almost up. Now it's up. I did watch, I finished watching the Quinn run of Civ 6 last night and saw all the asteroids that took out your cities. That was great. Oh yeah, the Hadrian run, the Hadrian one, yes. Yes, the Hadrian run was crazy. That ended absolutely nuts. I mean, I got the victory, and then I was like, well, let's see how many turns we can go before our cities keep getting struck by asteroids. And it wasn't too long. And our cities were being just bombarded by the asteroids. That was absolutely nutty. Now Faith, I do have a new series I'll be starting up this next week. That's just a new series that I've already pre-recorded most of it. I'm still working on it a little bit, but I got like about 8 episodes done so far. So I'm going to start a new series up this next week, where we will be playing as Empress Nzinga. We'll be playing. Well, she's Nzinga, but we'll be playing it on Empress mode, which I'm super excited about. Because it's the first time I've ever played on Emperor mode. I'm calling it Empress mode because we're playing Nzinga. So we're playing the female leader, and it's going to be pretty interesting. It's been interesting so far. I will say I really do love Civilization 6. It's a lot of fun. But today we're going to be doing the we're gonna try that Cyrus mode, and we'll actually do that on Emperor difficulty as well. I think you can only play it on Prince and Emperor, so we'll try it on Emperor difficulty and see how it works. All right, let's drink down these couple of teas that we got. Get some water back. I don't have much water right now, so we're gonna do that. There we go. Yeah, let's grab our water here. I want to drop the drop the jerry can.
It's gotta go.
I know something's gotta go. That's why I dropped the jerry can, sir. That's why I dropped the stinking jerry can. Let's see, what do we got here? We got I got some extra reclaimed wood. I'll leave that here. And I need to leave one more piece of coal here. Because if we want to forge here, we're going to need to. We're going to need to have 4 pieces of coal. Okay. So I've got all that. I've got all that. Is there anything I want from in here? The damn storm is going on outside, which just is annoying. I got 13 arrows on me right now. Let's just go downstairs and make like 3 arrows. There we go. Grab the simple tools. This is the way that using your bedroll flashlight, you can find the workbench in here, and you don't have to light a light coming in or out of this place. All right, so let's go ahead and use the tools. There we go. Hey, Just Alex, how you doing? Yep, the magic bedroll, baby. The magic bedroll will get you through the day. All right, there's that. Let's go ahead and go back out again. Go up the stairs. There we go. You do have to have a rudimentary knowledge of what the room looks like ahead of time. It's not like going in there blind. You can just do that. But if you sort of know the layout of the room, you can fake it, and you can get through it pretty easily. All right, let's get those rabbit hides up. We do have in the bear's cave over here. Did I not map the bear's cave over here? The bear's cave over here, we have the hides and the guts and some meat over there, so let's drink El Sodi. El Sodair. Unfortunately, during a blizzard, there's not much you can do. Let's just make sure it's actually a blizzard and just not high winds out here. Nope, that's actually a blizzard. That's a blizzard. But we can come in here and we can take this cloth. There's lots of cloth at the airfield, boys and girls. Every single one of these is a piece of cloth. There's like 5 pieces of cloth, I mean. Let's go ahead and just break this crate down, because why not? It sounds like the blizzard's gonna last for a while. I've never really looked to see if there's stuff under these crates or not. It sounds like the storm actually left. Which would be great if it did, because we could travel a little bit.
If I can drop any of this
Yeah, well,
gear.
that's what we're gonna do, buddy. Let's just take it easy. We're gathering up some materials here. That's all we're doing. We only fit 7 more cloth in there. I'm gonna take the cloth out of there then. I'm gonna move the cloth down here. It's easier to transfer it all over and then just grab some back. All right. Let's go. Miss Candela! Woof! How you doing, Miss Candela? Welcome in. Good to see ya. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We are heading up to the little island now that the weather's cleared a little bit. Yeah, look at this. Even right now, it's negative 50. What was it? 56 out. Even this late in the evening, it's really cold in this zone. What do I have that smells on me? Oh, it's just the pies. Okay. And why are those not stacking? There we go. The stacking mechanism in this game is so weird sometimes. So we're gonna go back over to our trailer here. The idea being we're gonna sleep here tonight and then go to the little island tomorrow. I'd push for the little island now, but it is a good walk away. It is a good walk away from where we're at. And I don't think we'll make it. I'm doing fantastic. We are on day 364. We are at the 1-year mark, boys and girls. We're going to be celebrating Happy New Year. Yeah, and we're going into the wind right now, which is always fun. It always seems I'm going into the wind on this game. I'm always fighting the wind. And good morning, Cass. How are you? So yeah, we are almost at the 1-year mark right now. I'm doing fantastic. I got good sleep last night, finally. We got Long Dark right now. We're going to have some Subnautica. After that, we're going to do a little bit of Civ 6 tonight in the Cyrus. We're going to start the Cyrus challenge. And right now, I was telling everybody earlier, right now, if anybody's ever been interested in picking up Civ 6, right now it is 90% off on Steam. That's right, 90% off. And Civ 6 is one of those games where it's a lot of money outlay when you're buying it initially. When you're buying Civ 6, there's so many DLCs. It's kind of like Sims in the sense of there's so many DLCs that it's like over $100 to buy the game. But right now it's 90% off. The base game's like $5. And so all the DLCs are super cheap as well. I think total you'll probably spend less than $35, $40 on the entire thing right now. I can't look at it because I already own the whole thing, but it looks like most of the it looks like the Gathering Storm is 88% off. It's usually $39.99. It's only $4.79 right now. And Gathering Storm is one of the big updates. Civilization Civilization has several. It has several. What do you call it? Iterations of like DLCs. There's the big DLCs like Gathering Storm, Rise and Fall, and there's the main game. And right now, if you bought Civilization 6, Gathering Storm, and Rise and Fall, it'd be under $15. It'd be about $15. And usually that is $60 for the base game, $40 for the Gathering Storm, and another $30 for Rise and Fall. So that's 60, 100, and it's $130, and right now you can get it for $15 basically. And then there are some packs for it as well. Like there's a lot of Civilization packs for that game as well. But you don't need to have those to enjoy the game. If you have the Civilization pack, you're good to go. And then I guess there is New Frontiers as well, so that's another one. So that's another 15. So you could get all of Civilization 6 for like $30, except for a few of the Civilization packs. Which, like I said, if you don't have the Civilization packs, it's not the end of the world. That's just less civilizations you get to play with. FIFA Civ 2 from back in the day will be one of my top games forever. Haven't played Civ 6 yet, but it looks beautiful. It is really nice. It is really nice. So the anthology bundle's $24.93 for the game, and it looks like most of the DLCs and packs. Yeah, and that's the thing. You can pick it up really cheap right now. And so if you've if you've seen any of my videos, if you've watched any of my gameplay, any of Hadrian's gameplay on Civ 6, if you've at any point been like, God, I'd really like to try that game, and then you look at the price and you're like, holy crap, we're talking over $150 worth of outlay just to get the base game plus the 3 main DLCs. That's not even including some of the Civilization packs. Right now you can get it for like $30, which, in my opinion, the game is totally worth that. It's totally worth that. So if you've ever thought of getting it before and you've always shied away from it because of price, let me tell you, now is your time. Now is the time to get it. And the cool thing is, like, this year so far, they've had 2, like, special events. One of them, the first one was the Giant Death Robot event, which was set in the future where you have to survive. You have to basically survive and thrive in the future, and there's giant death robots around everywhere. And the current one they're doing is called the Cyrus event, and it's a 2-player map, you and Cyrus, and you have to basically totally dominate and defeat Cyrus. You still have to build up your kingdom and all that sort of stuff, but you eventually have to defeat Cyrus's capital to win the game. There is no science victory, there is no culture victory, there's no diplomatic or any of those other victories. The only victory you have is domination. So if you're into domination, it's a great one. But yeah, Fifi, Civilization 6 is really good. I never played anything other than Civilization 6. I've heard from a lot of people that they actually like Civilization 5 better, but I've never played any of the other ones other than Civilization 6. Now, I do tend to mod. I mod my Civilization 6. There's a lot of mods for Civilization 6 on the Steam board, so there's a lot of modding you can do of the game. So I do mod it pretty heavily. But I enjoy the heck out of it. It's really a fun game. So I'm gonna start a little fire out here. Is there a fire barrel? Fire barrel? No fire barrel. No fire barrel. Fantastic. All right, let's go ahead and add that piece of coal. Add a reclaimed wood or 2. That should get it warm enough for us. And then here's a trick we can use because we have AquaPure tablets. I'm just going to let that water, the water here is just going to go ahead and boil. Excuse me. Excuse me, doggos. I did not ask you to come by. I know there's another one out here. There he is. There he goes. Okay, there's one down. I did not ask you guys to come by. Jeez Louise, man. How many hours have I been playing this game? This specific run? Or playing the Long Dark in total? Because I've been playing the Long Dark. I have now, let's see, in the Long Dark, I've now topped out at 6,659 hours as of last game session. Alright, that's ready to go. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to take our Aqua Pure tablets and go dippity-dappity-doo. Bam! We'll put those in there. So let's just say 6,500 hours just for a nice round number. I'm just going to drop those down. So we got a couple hours in the game. All right, let's see if we can get a little bit of harvest here. We'll see what we got. Yeah, I've been playing Long Dark since basically end of January, well, early February 2017. So this is my... I've now got 7 years of Long Dark under my belt. We're working on the 8th year now. We're working on the 8th year now, so... I've played Long Dark for a little bit of time. Supposedly daytime out, but it sure doesn't look like it's daytime out. Oh yeah, I know. That's the thing. Well, I think it was Yumiko that pointed out last session, last time we were playing, I think it was actually Yumiko that pointed out that, you know how you can't use these from your inventory. Like these, you can use those from your inventory, but you can't use those. Well, if you attach those to your radial menu, and you come out here to the radial menu, you can use them. So if you have ruined pills, don't throw them away. Put them on your radial menu, and you can use those ruined pills to heal yourself. I didn't know that. I did not know that at all. So, because it used to be you could use the ruined pills. I'm sure that must be a mistake. I have a feeling they don't want us to use them anymore, but it's a workaround at the moment. So, if you got them, use them. Then you don't have to be using up all your rosehip peas all the time. It is getting cold in here.
Looks like a new day is dawning.
Can I make some, yeah, I can do a rosehip here. There's a wolfie over here that I want to bring over this way. Okay, now he's coming over here. Now he smells me. I'm going to crouch so he doesn't see me. I'm going to use the smell to lure him in. And then we're going to try to snipe his little sorry butt before he gets over here. We got to time this between him seeing you. There we go. Got him. I missed with that. Oh, and I got 2 broken arrows out of it. Fantastic. Fantastic news. All right. Let's get that tea. Why are these pies doing that? That's so annoying. And then they're probably not picking up right either. There we go. There we go. Now we got him back in 1 stack. God dang it. That's so freaking annoying. Now, I could make a rosehip pie. I could make rosehip pie, but I don't really want to. So I'm going to cook up another rosehip real quick. Why does it have to be so freaking cold outside?
Too heavy.
Well, I'm gonna go inside to get warmed up. I might as well leave a little bit of water out here to get going. This fire is lasting for a really long time because it's so cold out here. Your fires last longer when it's really cold. Right now it's super chilly out here, and so the fire's lasting a long time. Let's go ahead and just get an hour's sleep. We'll get up and go get our water if it's still going. See, that's the thing though, Elcor, I love about The Long Dark, is there's always something new to learn. You never truly know everything in the game. Think you're gonna get the anthology bundle? You can't beat that price, Cass? Yeah. You can't beat that price of the anthology bundle for Civ 6 right now. It is really, really, really cheap. Alright, let's grab a couple of torches. Actually, you know what we should do? Hold on a second. Let's go inside, drop some water off real quick, because we got plenty of water right now. Alright, let's go back outside. We're going to quickly cook up a cup of coffee so we have maximum stamina. There we go. How do you have an odd number of rose hips? Oh, it bothers me too, Elcor. Here's my theory. So I found 3 rose hips in a cave over here. Here's my theory: is that there are 8 rose hips that you'll find randomly scattered throughout the world. That you'll have randomly scattered throughout the world. If you find all 8, you can make a third of a rose hip tea. The anthology bundle for the Xbox is borked right now, though. Oh no, that sucks. Well, I mainly just go on PC, so I wouldn't know about the anthology for the other one, but. Oh, it stopped. That's weird. Oh, I think the fire got blown out. Let's grab our charcoal. At least we got some meat here. That's all that matters. It's nice and meaty. I did not leave any in storage, though, Elcor. The ones that I have on me that are extra, those are ones I just found. Alright, off the little island, which it seems like a short journey, but it is so long. It's such a long journey to the island. It is so incredibly far away. It's crazy how far away it is. It doesn't seem like it would be, because it's that island right over there. It doesn't seem like it'd be that far away, but it is so far away. It's so far away from me. You're so far away from me. God, Dire Straits was so good back in the day. They're still good now, I mean, but, you know. You get your money for nothing and your chicks for free. Oh, they were Zarothan. They had a really mellow vibe to 90% of the. Yeah, the Sultans of Swing. Yep. They just had a really good, like, mellow vibe to most of their stuff. I mean, of course, everybody knows them for Money for Nothing, but their other stuff was pretty just like mellow vibes, kind of cool, kind of just like you could just kind of jam to it. If they added one more rose hip or took one away, it wouldn't trigger the OCD in people. Well, you can leave them behind, Elcor. You can definitely leave them behind. I've only found three of the random ones so far. But my theory is that there's like 8 in the game that you can get. And I've never in one game found all 8 though, so. Because sometimes you'll find a single rose hip inside of a trash can. Or you'll find 2 rose hips sitting on a plate somewhere. I hate it when YouTube knocks me from 1080 to 360. Yeah, oh Kenneth, that always bugs the heck out of me. The only way to ever really get around that is manually setting it, and even then it doesn't always work. Because I think what happens, because I notice this with mine sometimes when I'm watching YouTube, I notice that sometimes if there's like if like the internet like has a little bit of a hiccup, it'll automatically readjust the quality without you doing anything. I would rather it just buffer and then come back at 1080, to be honest, and then I can choose to fast forward if I want to. Bands like Dire Straits are legendary, and their music will never die. Oh yeah, there's so much stuff, Elcor, from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. That is the 3 decades of some of the best music. I think that in hundreds of years down the line, the 60s, 70s, and 80s music will be the Mozart, Beethoven, Chopin, in a few hundred years. Not that it's that kind of music, don't get me wrong, but that's what it will be. It'll be remembered like that. It will be still listened to, and people will still be, referencing it because it is so good. It's so good and so memorable, and it's just so much better than anything that's coming out now. There's a few good things here and there that come out now, but as a general whole, not much. I know, that's probably a weird statement to say that in 200 years, the 60s, 70s, and 80s, 1960, 1970, and 1980s music, they'll be looking at that like we look at Mozart, Chopin, Beethoven, Bach. That's why I found that, remember the Doctor Who episode? The one where the Doctor and Rose go to the, I think it's like the second episode. They go to the end of the earth, basically. I am not a Swiftie at all. I can't stand, I have never liked Taylor Swift or her music. Okay, I won't say that. I've never liked her music. Taylor Swift, I'm sure, is a fine person. I'm sure she's a fine young lady. Has problems keeping anybody like to be in her relationship with. I think she's an absolute disaster when that area. But I think she's a nice young lady, but I've never liked her music. Her music just was always just annoying to me. But her music's not targeted to me either, so, her music is not targeted at 50-year-old males. Let's just be honest. Hey, Amir, how you doing? What's your verdict on scurvy? I find the threshold kind of high. I've not actually been having a lot of problems with it. Hey, after 50 years, Jimi Hendrix is still super popular. I know. That's what I'm meaning, Kenneth, is that it's 50 years later and Jimi Hendrix is still super popular. Guys like Jimi Hendrix, Bob Marley, The Doors, Led Zeppelin, they're still super popular, and it's been 50 years since they put anything out. They're going to be around for the next 100 years, 200 years, 300 years. Because that music's not going away. But as far as I'm concerned, the scurvy, Emir, is not... It's not horrible. It's just something you definitely you have to be very aware that scurvy is a possibility on all your runs. I hate Justin Bieber. I hate Justin Bieber's music. Oh my god. Absolutely hate his music. No thank you on Justin Bieber music. No thank you. Not a big fan. Not a big fan. Another little cave we can hole up in here. Archie's crawl space. But that's the thing, is music like that is not being made anymore. Miss Candela. Music like that from the Doors, Jimi Hendrix, Led Zeppelin, you know, Bob Marley, all that kind of music's not being made anymore. Or if it's being made, it's not being widely distributed because it doesn't fit the model that these corporations want to put out there. Again, it's much like we were talking yesterday. It's much like we were talking yesterday how the movie industry is so scared of taking any kind of risk with a movie if they're not guaranteed to make back, you know, $500 million on it. Music is the same way. They're very risk adverse any longer. Fleetwood Mac, awesome group as well. They're very risk adverse. Where in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, you know, they were putting out all sorts of stuff. They were putting all sorts of stuff out. Some of it failed, some of it succeeded. So a lot of it was really crap, and sometimes a band would have one hit, spawning the whole one-hit wonders type sensation of the 80s. I mean, how many one-hit wonders are out there now in this day and age? There's hardly any, because everything's so pre-packaged and photoshopped, like Miss Candela said. It's all produced for consumption. It's all produced to be like one hit after another because they don't want to just put all their money into somebody that's only going to have one hit ever, which is kind of sad. I think it lessens the quantity of good stuff that's out there, and I think the good stuff that's out there is lacking in the first place. But it's even less because it's all the same exact thing. What's this about being subject to Geneva Convention violations? What? Wait a second. What about Geneva Convention? Oh, if you force somebody to listen to Justin Bieber and Taylor Swift, yeah, that would be a violation of Geneva Convention. That definitely would be. Well, see, that's why Elcor. That's why the Joker was so successful. You look at a movie like The Joker. The Joker is a prime example of here is a movie that tells an amazing story on the level of something I would even say like Shawshank Redemption or Schindler's List. I'm not saying it's equivalent to those, but I'm saying it's on that level of storytelling. It tells such a good story that it doesn't matter if you like comic books or you know who the Joker is, or if you like the narrative they're giving with the Joker in that or not. It's a good story at its core, and that's what makes it great. Here comes a wolf. Here comes a wolf. Here comes a wolf. And now they're doing Joker 2, which I think is going to be an absolute failure. Joker 2 is going to be an absolute joke, I have a feeling. I think initially people will go to see it just because it's Joker, and they'll go to see it out of the goodwill they have towards the first movie. I have a feeling in the second or third week, though, it's probably, unless it's really good, and it could be really good, but it just seems like a cash grab to me. It seems like a cash grab to me. It's like that, you know, whenever Hollywood has a successful movie, they always take the wrong message from it. And they're like, "Oh, well, let's put out another one since it made so much money." It's like, you know, the reason it made so much money in the first place is it was unique, different, interesting, something people hadn't seen 20 times before. And that's why the Joker made so much money. That's why it was so successful. I can almost guarantee, I don't even know the news on it, but I almost guarantee you that they probably are looking at making a Barbie 2 movie. I don't know if they are or not. Maybe it's already been announced, but I can almost guarantee you, because Barbie was successful, they're gonna be like, well, let's make Barbie 2. It's like, ugh, really? Schindler's List is a great movie. Yeah, see, that's the thing, is Joker was a great movie that will never be repeated because it was such a surprise. And I will be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of the Joker movie. I think it's a good movie. I think it was good. I mean, the acting in it, I think, is the phenomenal. I mean, the acting in it is just absolutely phenomenal, without peer. The acting in it is phenomenal. I wasn't a big fan of the Joker movie. I saw it one time and I was like, yeah, it's good. It's a good story and stuff. It's great acting. It's a decent story. You know, I was not the biggest fan of it though. But I get it. I get why it was so huge. I'm surprised they didn't make a Wolf of Wall Street 2. You never know, Elcor. Give it enough time. I mean, you know the old Chinese curse of may you live in interesting times? The new curse is may you live to see your favorite properties brought to life on the big screen. Schindler's List was great. Art and genius streaks are missing. The old stuff in movies had good story. Now it's content free with glitter. Yeah, pretty much. There's the Polaroid. There she blows. See, that's it right there. There it is, baby. We got both Polaroids. I want to pick those glasses up. But you're right, Miss Candela. Even something as simple as, like, you know, my favorite Christmas movie of all time is White Christmas. And yeah, on the face of it, it's a pretty weak story, weak premise. It's a musical, you know. It's like, but it's still. I love that movie. I think that movie is just great. I love Danny Kaye. I love Rosemary Clooney in it. I just love the whole movie. I love the songs in it. I love how goofy it is. It's like stuff like that just doesn't get made anymore. And it's kind of sad. I mean, you know, of course the day of the musical is kind of gone. They don't really do musicals anymore. Or if they do them, they aren't musicals like they used to be. But, you know, that's something where, you know, it's just like there's a certain charm to those kind of movies. Yeah, you know, that's the thing Quentin Tarantino really does well. And see, that's the thing though. That's the problem that some directors get themselves in at points. Look at a guy like M. Night Shyamalan. I mean, M. Night Shyamalan had a huge hit with The Sixth Sense. And the main reason that was a hit, it was something new, different, unexpected. And it was like all these clues throughout the movie, knowing what you know about the movie. And yes, I'm gonna spoiler alert if you've never seen Sixth Sense. Spoiler alert. Knowing what you know about the movie now, if you've seen the movie before, you can see all these hints throughout the movie, that Bruce Willis is dead. And that he is actually one of the people that the little boy is seeing as a dead person. But the first time you watch it, when it comes to that point, and that's a huge shocker, you're like, holy crap, the whole time he's been dead. You know, and so that's the thing is like, unfortunately though, Shyamalan basically took that as, oh, everybody likes a twist ending, so now every single one of his movies has a twist ending on it. And it's like, it became a trope with his movies that really damaged him as a director. Because now everybody just expects that his movie's gonna have this twist ending to it. But you watched Wizard of Oz last night, what a great movie. Yeah, Wizard of Oz is pretty damn awesome. Not a fan of musicals, but you have a connection, good or bad. Will always have a place in your heart. Exactly. I'm not the biggest fan of musicals either, Miss Candela, but there are a handful of musicals out there that I absolutely love. And most of them, honestly, are from the 40s and the 50s. And a few, man, not really from the 60s, but most of them are from the 40s and 50s. You know, they're older musicals. I mean, I think White Christmas actually boasted that it was in Technicolor at the beginning of it. It's like, now in Technicolor, which is just hilarious on the face of it. It's like, ooh, it's in Technicolor. Scorsese, for example, who just kills all characters at the end. Yeah, and that's the thing is like, directors definitely need to know when to not use the same trope over and over and over and over and over again, because it can get old. Just like anything else, it gets old, and that's one of the, that's like I said, like I was saying with the remakes of movies, the reason that fails after a while is that it just gets old. People kind of get bored of it.
No power in the verse can stop me.
Mr. Rook, it's probably Crook. Mr. Crooks. Maybe Mr. Crooks. That might be it. And of course we have a storm going on outside, so that's always fantastic news. Thank you for the follow there, my friend. Mr. Crooks! See, I can do it. I can do it. I'm not very good with screen names, so I always struggle a little bit. Why, thank you. One of my viewers, Faith, made this for me. It has the maple leaf on the front, and then if we swing it around, it's got the bear on the back with little sticks around him. Mr. Sticks is up there. I'm going to leave it on the bear side. We don't have a bear that we're going to be fighting here soon, but we're going to leave it on the bear side for now. Actually, you know, we'll turn it around when we get a bear. Right now, we're just going with the toque. Yes, we got the bear on the back. Yes, oh, it's Lynette. Sorry, it's Lynette Melody. Sorry, it's not Faith, it's Lynette. God, I'm giving Faith credit for something. Faith's like, oh, I made the hat? Yay. You were just on my mind, Faith. That's how it always is. But there's Lynette's Gate City yarn. She's the gal who actually made it for me. And she's quite the witty knitter. She actually made me some socks, too, which are really comfortable. Really super comfy socks. Let's see, can I prepare anything up? Got some rose hips. Let's make some rose hips up. There we go. Faith is like, aww. Faithy, you were just on my mind. It's just how life goes sometimes. First, I came to your stream. I came for Long Dark, but now I stay for these debates. Well, I don't try to get too debatey on stuff, but on pop culture things, I have a very staunch opinion on a lot of stuff being crap these days. It's not everything is. It's just a lot of it is, and you know, I'm very encouraged because I watch a bunch of YouTubers too, who kind of like are against a lot of the crap that's going on right now. One of them, my son actually introduced me to Critical Drinker, who's got some great stuff on the horrific, you know, state of our entertainment these days. But my son introduced me to him, and so I watched some of those guys, and it's nice because I don't feel like I felt so long like I was the only one who was seeing it. Like I was like, am I the only one who's thinking this stuff? Am I the only one feeling this way? Because from the proper people, the critics and everything, they're making it sound like everything's all hunky-dory. Like, where are the days of Siskel and Ebert, where Siskel and Ebert would be like, this movie sucks? I mean, they were both like Critical Drinker. The Critical Drinker. The Critical Drinker is an amazing guy. He's actually one of my faves. But, oh, Doomcock, yeah, I don't follow him, but, I've seen stuff. Yeah, it's Critical Drinker. He's massive too. I mean, every video he puts out gets like 1 million views. So he must be doing something right. But You know, and I also watch a lot. I watch a lot of EFAP and Mauler. Mauler's channel I watch a bunch as well. I love Mauler's. Mauler does long format stuff. He'll review a 30-minute episode and he'll take like 8 hours to do it, which I absolutely love. Cause he'll break it down it's every frame a pause is EFAP. So, well, that's the thing I've sort of learned, Larry, is that the thing I'm so more happy about is like I'm not alone in these thoughts. You know, and it's fine. I will never criticize somebody for enjoying something. If you enjoy XYZ movie, that is great and fine and dandy. But at the same time, don't expect me to enjoy it if I think it's garbage. Don't try to gaslight me into thinking that something is good when on its face, I'm like, that's not that good. That's not that good. I'm like, wait a second. What is going on? Am I the and then I'm feeling like I'm the only one feeling like it's not that good. Oh, Andrew's fake online persona. Yeah, he's Andrew is an interesting character. I've seen him on stuff. I actually like listening to him. I find him hilarious. I think most of the stuff that Andrew espouses is kind of. I personally think Elcor, honestly, I think 90% of Andrew's stuff is all just it's all like it's an act. I think it's almost like an Andy Kaufman type act. I think he's trying to be so over the freaking top, like so over the top that he just like comes off as a complete jerk, which I've seen guys do that before. I've seen people do that before, and I think, you know, and it's like, it's interesting. I'd be curious to see what he's actually really like in his real life, because I don't think that's him at all. But I think a lot of people online put on a persona, and they put up sort of a front that is either sometimes it's done for the shock value. Sometimes it's done to make a point. Like they want to be that ridiculous. They want to be as ridiculous as they possibly can to make their point. But it's hard to tell in this day and age. I mean, it really truly has. It really truly is. You know, it's hard to tell. He's good. I really like a guy who does these video essays called Like Stories of Old too. Oh, interesting. Okay, Janelle, I'll have to check that out. There's so many old shows that would never get made in this political climate. Well, yeah, and that I think that's changing though. You see it changing in the first place it needs to change, and that is in comedy. Comedy is always sort of at the spearhead of showing the ridiculousness of whatever it is, whether it's left or right or center, whatever it is. Comedy is the first one to step up there, and you got comics now that are not afraid anymore of this whole cancel mob. For a while, comics were afraid of getting canceled because they were trying to cancel comics. Now the comics have kind of all band together and they are just collectively going, F you, it's a joke. If you don't like it, too freaking bad. Which is great, because that's where it's gonna start. When the comics stand up and say enough is enough, we are now gonna lampoon you so much that everybody is gonna point and laugh at you. That's where it starts at, which is great, and that's just I'm so happy that's happening right now. You see it on so many comedians, and the comedians are still getting hate for it, but we just got to support those guys. We got to support them and be like, hey, we're on your side. You know, you're doing the right thing. Do I ever use the milling machine? Sometimes I do. You know, Faceless, though, to get to the milling machine is such a gauntlet, because you have to get to. Oh, actually, I can't go back to the other world. I can go into my individual maps though. To get to the milling machine is such a gauntlet to get down to it that by the time I get there, it's easier to just go craft new items. Where did cancel culture come from? Oh, it's been around forever. It's just got a name now. It's called cancel culture. But silencing voices has always been
No
around.
power in the verse can stop me.
And for those of you who think that this is a right or left thing, it's not. The right has had cancel culture. The left has had cancel culture. Both sides, at certain points in their history, have tried to silence voices they didn't like. And it's wrong no matter who's doing it. But it's always been around. It just got it sort of got coined a name back in what, the mid 2000s or so. But I mean, the cancel type culture has been around forever. It's just really. Thank you for following, Chitty Chibata Chikoma Coma. And thank you for subbing as well. But the cancel culture has always been around. I think it's more of it's a term that kind of came around with the whole internet, like all the old internet social media thing. That has the internet and social media has sort of brought cancel culture to the fore. Before that, you know, you'd have, I mean, you know, just like I've always said, you know, it's not a left or right thing. Back in the 80s and 90s, remember all of the boycotts that were being done by certain religious groups and political groups and stuff like that? That was sort of cancel culture of that time. They were like, well, we don't like what this organization's doing. Let's cancel them. Let's ban them from being able to do business. And so that was sort of the cancel culture of old. But with the advent of the internet, it became a lot easier to do a massive, you know, make a massive shout that this person's bad. We should cancel him. Lefties have no sense of humor. I've seen so many get mad during comedy specials. Well, and honestly, Larry, you know, in a way I agree with you. It definitely right now is definitely more lefties that the really hard, and I'm not even saying left-leaning people, because honestly, I consider myself more center. I have some right-leaning opinions. I have some left-leaning opinions. I don't really consider myself one way or the other, to be honest. Because I see benefits on both sides, and I think when you get too polarized to one way or the other, it can really be bad. But I think the thing is that the people, when you really get in trouble, is when the far left or the far right start to take over the majority of the voice in that group. That's when it's bad on either side. I hear ptarmigans, by the way. That's when it gets really bad, is when the fringes start to become the majority voice. Not saying that they're the majority, but they become the majority voice in the group. And that's what's happened, especially... Oh, we found a thermos! That's what's happened right now on the left, is that the... And it's funny because guys like Bill Maher, who I consider Bill Maher a Democrat, a dyed-in-the-wool blue Democrat from forever. And I've not always agreed with Bill Maher's takes on things. I don't agree with anybody. I don't agree with takes that people have on a lot of stuff. I never agree 100% with anybody. But Bill Maher, you know, has always been kind of a dyed blue leftist liberal. But even he's like, these guys are going too far. And you know, when guys in your own party, and that's good because you have to always stand up and let the people who are on the fringes know that they've gone too far. You can't let them take over whatever stance you're on. And I think that's starting to happen. The change is coming. People are having enough of the garbage that's happening right now. There's one ptarmigan. And these ptarmigans are going to pay the price for being loud and annoying. Which ptarmigan? Okay. Shh, all is peaceful on the western front now. But yeah, definitely, the cancel culture now is definitely, like, it's starting, you know, the thing is that the easiest way to not get canceled is just to refuse to acquiesce to them. You got to remember, the people in cancel culture, they don't want you to apologize. They don't want you to be sorry. They just want you gone. You can the worst thing you can do to cancel culture is apologize for anything. No. Don't apologize, especially when it's for something innocuous. Now, there's certain things, of course, on the fringes, the exceptions that you do need to apologize for. But, you know, if you in your heart have done nothing wrong, I mean, I would never apologize for anything I've ever said or done. Especially online. If I don't really mean it, I'm not gonna say it. If I don't really mean it, you know, if I don't mean something, I won't say it in the first place. So, never apologize, never give up, never surrender. There we go. Yay. Let's harvest it up. That's why he hasn't acknowledged his Crypto Zoo scam. Yeah, see, like stuff like that, I can understand why he's not said anything about it. It was a total scam. I mean, he was, you know, the whole crypto thing. A lot of the influencers getting in on crypto Elcor, that was all a scam to begin with. I mean, I was taught early on by my parents that if anybody ever tells you you're gonna make easy money doing something, it's either a scam or it's illegal.
Don't tell me.
It's either a scam or it's illegal. And if you're gonna fall for it, if you're gonna fall for it, I don't have. I mean, honestly, I've made a lot of crappy decisions in my life that I regret and wish I could take back. But if you're gonna fall for something like that, honestly, I think it's not like you have it coming, but you can't really bitch and whine about it a whole lot. There was tons of people out there going, "This is a scam," and people were like, "No, I can make look. He's made lots of money doing this." It's like the whole pyramid scheme back in the 80s and 90s. You know, people were like, "Oh, well, you can make lots of money with this pyramid scheme." It's not a pyramid. It's not a pyramid scheme at all, though. Don't believe them when they say it is. It's not a pyramid scheme. It's like, well, we were all taught about this a long time ago. It's like we were taught about scams. I was taught about scams by my parents. My parents always taught me to work hard, and that, you know, you got not only would you feel better about the stuff you really worked hard for, but you knew you got it honestly. And there's really not a lot of a chance of you getting scammed. Yes, you're gonna fail. That was the other thing they taught me, is you're gonna fail, period. You're gonna fail multiple times. I've failed multiple things in my life. But guess what? I've probably learned more from my failures than I ever did from my successes. Wow, look at that beautiful view. Oh, I love it. You spent about 30K on crypto mining stuff, made about 5K profit when you got out of it. I didn't make bank, but I didn't lose. But it wasn't. But the thing is, Psycho Sterope, I bet. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm guessing when you got into it, you thought, wow, I'm going to be able to set myself up for life with this. I'll be pretty rich after I get done with this. I mean, you know, and that's the thing is, I've gotten into stuff like that before. I'm not immune to it either. I'm not saying that I'm like some angel who's never fallen for anything before, because I have. I have. I hoped I would be rich, but I watched the trends. Yeah, so you got out when you saw it kind of not being a thing anymore. See, there's a lot of people though, Psycho Sterope, unfortunately, that wouldn't watch the trends, and they would just jump into it, thinking it was going to be the next big thing, and they would they'd never get their money out of it, unfortunately. Oh gosh, dang it! I failed to keep my fire going. I failed to keep my fire going. Dang it. Okay, let's Gosh darn it. I've always been a cash in the barrel head kind of guy. Yeah, I will, in my 20s and early 30s, I was really dumb. And I ran up a lot of credit card debt. To this day, though, after I got out of that hole for the last almost 2 decades, I have not even owned a credit card. I have no credit card debt. I will never have credit card debt again. I have a car payment, but I don't have a credit card. I don't want any credit card debt. Most of us are not most of us are not, what's the word I'm searching for? Not responsible enough. Most of us are not enough on top of it to make sure that we pay that off. It's very easy for most of us to spend more than we're making. And ever since I got in, at one point I racked up, God, probably $20,000, $30,000 in credit card debt. I've got it all taken care of now, but for a long time I was in pretty bad shape. I mean, and I promised myself then I was never going to get back there. But it was me mainly spending more than I was making. And the funny thing is that when I racked up that credit card debt, that was also the time in my life when I was making over 6 figures. I was making more money than I've ever made in my life. And I still was not able to do it. So that's all on me. So believe me, I'm not talking from saying that I'm a saint and I've got it all figured out. Because believe me, it's taken me decades to figure it out. I am a total cash person now. If I ain't got the money for it, I don't spend it. I don't go borrow money to get anything done. Well, I did for my car, because I don't have, I didn't have 14 grand to lay out for my car, but that's the only payment thing that I have right now. And that was already budgeted into my budget. I'm like, okay, I know I have X amount of dollars, and I went into buying the car knowing that I could only spend a certain amount and have a certain payment. What do I do for a living? This right here, and I drive Lyft and Uber. Well, I mainly drive Lyft. I haven't done Uber in a while. But I live stream and I do YouTube and I do Lyft. That's my main occupation now. I lost my job back at the end of 2022 because my boss sold the business. And so I lost my job. And at that time, I was like, I made a decision I was going to try to stream and do my own thing for a year. Really, another storm? No, it's not another storm. And it actually worked out okay. So, and I've been doing it now for about a year. Well, a little over a year now. And it's been tight. I mean, I'm making less money now than I ever have in my life. But I'm free. I don't have a 9-to-5 job I have to go to. I sort of think of myself at this point as kind of semi-retired. I do this, and and everybody has been super, my through the subs and all that sort of stuff. It's been enough to keep me going. I'm not by any chance, by any stretch of the imagination living high on the hog, but I'm not that big of a YouTuber. But I'm able to pay my bills, keep the lights on, keep the internet on, pay my taxes, and keep the government off my back. So that's a good thing. How much wood do I have on me? Not much. Let's go ahead. Hey, there's a pine tree here. I've been stuck in this damn hut. This is the... Oh, okay, did the storm go away? Excellent. Excellent, excellent. So I want to travel from here. I want to travel from here over to there. It doesn't seem like far on the map, but it's really far. No, everybody I've ever driven on Lyft and Uber is totally fine. The exceptions you see, where Lyft and Uber drivers are having problems with people or whatever... That is exactly what it is. It's the exception. 99% of the people you drive are they just want to get from point A to point B. They don't want any issues or anything like that. They don't want any problems. They aren't looking to cause trouble. Nothing like that. They just want to get from point A to point B and get home. That was interesting. After I got laid off as equipment operator, I had to do multiple part-time jobs and make the same amount I made when I started working in the 70s. Oh, I'm making less now than I've ever made, and I'm totally happy with it. As long as I can pay my bills and stuff, I'm good. And I have a little bit of retirement set aside, and you know, I can draw on that if I need to. I've got a little bit of retirement that I set up with my old job. I take a penalty if I draw on it though, so I'm incentivized to not take it. But if I need, you know, if I really want to, I can draw a little bit on that if I want to do something. But you know, overall, things are going decent. I mean, January and February, honestly, are the hardest months as a streamer. Good, you know, December is usually my best month as far as, like, you know, YouTube revenue, Twitch revenue, that sort of stuff. January, February are always the slower months. I think it's because everybody's kind of, you know, over the holidays, they're getting back to work. They don't have as much time, but you know, it's all part of the average. You know, you figure out the average and you go, well, this is what it's average gonna be, and you go from there. But yeah, oh my stars, my bills are paid. I got food in the refrigerator. I mean, the best part about being a streamer, other than driving for Uber or driving for Lyft, is that I don't have to spend money on a commute every day and gas. I don't eat out. I mean, I've basically cut out eating out almost completely. Unless I'm actually going and doing something, I never eat out anymore. You know, I'll order a pizza or something every once in a while, but that's a very rare occasion. So living the life. That's what you said a couple weeks after the store news. Yep, that's it. I'm going to be living the life now. Huge competition, but as long as you're happy, keep going. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, like, and especially right now, there's so much competition in the live streaming market. Wow, tin of coffee, nice. There's so many people out there. The thing you have to realize as a live streamer is you're nothing special. You just have to be you know, be cogent of the fact that there's 1,000 other people doing the exact same thing as you out there. And so for me, it's like, you know, I do the streaming as my main thing. I do Lyft on the side. I have a set amount that I need to make on Lyft every week to make my money, you know, to pay my bills, and, you know, that and the streaming keeps me going. So, oh, I'm eating way healthier here at home, Kenneth. I mean, everything I'm making here at home is all, you know, it's not, none of it's that fatty food stuff you get at the McDonald's or whatever. So, I mean, I don't cook a lot, but, you know, I have a good breakfast in the morning. Usually it's cereal and toast or eggs and toast. I'm pretty just routine on that. You know, I usually have a sandwich. I like my meat and cheese sandwiches. That's, you know, my weakness. But I'll have peanut butter and jelly every once in a while too. And you know, I'll make a little dinner up here and there. I'm not a big cook. I have some chicken breasts in the freezer or whatever. I'll just make up some chicken breast and maybe a little vegetable or something for dinner. I don't eat super huge though. I'm not doing a lot of activity being a live streamer. So my caloric intake is not as much as it used to be either. So, oh yeah, McDonald's. Well, and that's the thing is, fast food is no longer. It used to be you could go to, say, McDonald's with $5 and you could get a couple hamburgers, a fry, and a drink. Now you go to McDonald's with $5, you're lucky if you just get a hamburger. It's like, why would you go to McDonald's anymore? I mean, I just don't see the point. Everything's just so expensive there any longer. It's like, if I'm gonna spend that much on a burger, I'm gonna go to a place like Five Guys or Killer Burger and spend twice that much and get a burger that's 15 times better. It's actually like a big, ginormous burger that actually looks something like the picture that they took when they are advertising it. Or even Red Robin. Red Robin burgers are good too. I love that Red Robin not the sauce, but the seasoning. That Red Robin seasoning on the fries. Oh, yum. That is fantastic stuff. Red Robin, yum. The idea of eating from McDonald's changed for me when I found that you could buy a Big Mac and leave it on the counter for a couple weeks and only see the lettuce and tomatoes go bad. Well, yeah, most of their stuff's really, yeah, the Super Size Me movie, yeah, that was pretty gross. That was pretty gross. It's not getting better quality, even though the price is tenfold. Some rubbish different, same rubbish, different price. Yeah, but I'm just saying, Miss Candela, for the price, I'd rather just go and get a Killer Burger or Five Guys or Red Robin or something like that. That's what I'm saying, is that if you're gonna spend that much, it's like the alternative that most people looked at McDonald's at back in the past was that, hey, I can just get a quick, easy, cheap burger. You know, a buck $1.25, I can get a burger, a cheeseburger or something, you know, and I'll just go. You know, that was sort of the draw. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, I'm just saying that was the draw. And now that draw is gone. It's like, why would you even bother going to McDonald's? It's like, why would you even bother that? I mean, I'll go down and buy a Papa Murphy's pizza, take and bake pizza before I go to McDonald's these days. Because I know that take and bake pizza, I get a family-sized pizza, it's about the same price as it would cost me to go get a McDonald's order. And that thing will last me 2 or 3 or 4 days. And I'll just slowly eat the slices off of it. They say they'll update the Cougar in the future. It's rubbish food. Well, I'm not saying it's good food. I'm just explaining the reasoning behind why you would get it or not. I'm not debating that it's rubbish or not. That's not the point. That's not what we're implying in any way, shape, or form. Just saying it's rubbish food over and over again that's not what I'm aiming at. I'm just explaining why you would go there in the first place. I'm not advocating going there or not going there. I'm just saying I get it. The expectation that any food you get from a fast food place is not rubbish for you is it is all rubbish for you. It's all rubbish for you. You're not trying to convince me. It sure seems like you are. I'm starting with the premise that all fast food is rubbish. We'll just go from there. But you know what? We all do crap to ourselves. We smoke marijuana. We smoke cigarettes. We drink alcohol. You know, we all do stuff like that at some point in our life. Well, most of us have. I've done a couple of those things. And I'm not advocating or not advocating. I'm just saying that I understand why people would. I would not. I understand why people go to McDonald's. I used to go to McDonald's. I mean, I remember back in the day when I was a young kid. I could go to the swimming pool, the local swimming pool in my hometown. There was a McDonald's right across the street, and we could go to the swimming pool and we could swim for like it was like $1 to get in. My mom would give us the buck to get into the swimming pool. And then after we got done swimming, we would have maybe like $1.25, $1.50. We could go over to McDonald's and get 2 burgers, 2 drinks, and 2 fries for that $1.50. And it was like, you know, that was the best thing as a kid. It was like, yeah, we just got done swimming. Let's go to McDonald's, you know. Back then, of course, I had an amazing metabolism, and that stuff just went away the moment I would eat it, but people get addicted. Oh yeah, people get addicted to that stuff. When I was back in the late 90s, late 90s, when I was doing the Oregonian thing, doing the newspaper thing, I was working 7 days a week, 2 a.m. to about 4 p.m. at night, every day of the week, and I ate fast food all the time. I gained so much weight back then because that's all I was eating, because it was just like I was on the go. I was just like I didn't want to deal with anything, and I was a miserable bastard back then too. But yeah, I Jack in the Box was my go-to back then. That was the one I always kind of went for. It was the old Jack in the Crack. Yeah, 29-cent McDonald's cheeseburgers, yep. Back in the day. Back in the day, it was all about that. Got some flour. That's nice. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my stars. I have not actually eaten any McDonald's or fast food stuff for probably. I can't remember the last time I did. I can't remember the last time I did. I just have no desire to go back to it at this point. It's sort of like alcohol. I stopped drinking alcohol beginning of 2023, and I've never gone back to it, and I don't miss it at all. Hey, look at that! So, you know, for me, it's like I've kind of stopped doing a lot of stuff I used to do. All right, there we go. There's all that exposes. That's beautiful. Yes. Oh, Wendy's Bacon Madness. Yes, I do that. Yes, that gets ordered for me every once in a while. So there's my one vice. When somebody gets me a Wendy's Bacon Madness, I do have that. I do have that, and they're Baconator fries. That is a special treat. That is a special treat. Yep. Thank you, Faith. Thank you for reminding me of that. Thank you for reminding me. Now they've stopped salting the fries. I mean, come on. We can do that ourselves, but why? Exactly. It's because they put crack in that salt. That salt has literal crack in it. That's not salt. You think it's salt, but it's actually crack cocaine that they put in there. There we go. Drink down that broth. Oh, we have another little broth as well. We all see, and that's the thing. We all have a soft spot for our favorite places to eat fast food at. I have not had meat in many months. Yeah, I would stop eating meat, but it's just too damn tasty. I don't eat a lot of red meat though. I'm not a big red meat person. I don't like steaks and stuff like that. I do like my meat though. I do like my meat. That I don't think I'll ever give up. Is that a fire poker or is that a...
Feels like something is set.
No, that's a marshmallow roaster. I have never seen that. That's a marshmallow roaster they put in this cabin. That's cool. But yeah, I don't eat out very often anymore. That saves you a lot of money. Eating out is one of the... I mean, if you think groceries are expensive, eating out is even more expensive. Eating out is a huge waste of money. All right. So that all cleared up now. Excellent. Okay. So what do we got here? Okay, we are really super tired. Let's drop all these here. Yeah, we're getting super heavy. Super heavy D in the boys. Drop all that here. I like cigars. I used to smoke cigars. I used to drink alcohol. I haven't had any alcohol or cigars for... well, over a year now. Since January of 2023, I gave up both. I'd still love to smoke a cigar every once in a while, but I just don't want to go back to that. I don't want to go back to it. Bottom line, life is all about choices. And things that you do to your body, especially when you're young, you may not think it has long-term consequences, but believe me, it does. $65 for delivery pizza last week. You aren't kidding? Yeah. See, that's just ridiculous. It's like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. $65 for that? Still chewing on cigars, damn ADHD. Yeah, I haven't had any cigars for a long time now. My friend, she's giving up smoking, so she's doing good with that. She still has one or two here and there, but she's on a daily. She's not doing... I mean, she used to smoke like a pack and a half a day. And now she's down to doing maybe one or two every other day, which is fantastic. I mean, it's not quitting at all, but smoking is one of the toughest things you can give up, especially cigarettes, because not only do they have nicotine in the tobacco, not only is there nicotine in tobacco, but they add extra nicotine to cigarettes to get you more addicted to them. So... I used to smoke something else I quit in September 23rd, 2000 when I was in Amsterdam. I bet you can guess what it was. It's probably the wacky weed. See, I've never tried that. I've never tried that stuff. It's not that I try to, you know, I have never actually, other than alcohol and tobacco, I've never done a drug in my life. And I think part of that is just, when I was growing up, I was around people who did drugs a lot, as far as a lot of my schoolmates that I was friends with did drugs, and it kind of turned me off to it. And I think another part of that is that I saw what that did to them, and I saw how out of control they were when they were doing drugs, and I'm a big-time control freak. And so when I'm not in control of something, especially myself, it bothers me to no end. So that was probably the other reason I've just never been like, no. I mean, that's why I didn't drink until I was in my 30s. I think the first time I ever had any drinks was when I was like 30, probably 32, 33. I've never liked the taste of beer, but yeah, I've never been a big fan of alcohol either. So, but then again, I had family members. I had an uncle who was I had that drunk uncle. You know, you have that drunk uncle who kind of makes you go, ooh, I don't want to be like that. If she's strong and keeps a low amount, she will succeed. Yeah, I'm praying for her every day, Miss Candela, because I know how many years I've known her now for almost 20 years, and she has struggled with the cigarette smoking for that entire time. And she's wanted to quit. She's wanted to, put down that demon, and that I think cigarettes are probably harder to quit than some drugs, to be honest. What's my opinion of e-cigarettes? I don't think there's enough data at this point to negotiate, or even though they've been around for 15, 20 years, I don't think there's enough long-term data to really say that. I mean, my opinion is that anything you put in your lungs other than oxygen, in my opinion, is probably not healthy for you. Let's just put it that way. Now, varying degrees of whether it's healthy or not healthy, but anything you're putting in your lungs that's not oxygen probably doesn't belong there. But I mean, I think vaping is a better alternative to smoking, but I think you can get hooked on vaping just like you can on smoking. If you're looking to quit altogether, I think vaping is a good way to go, because smoking also has that component, that component of putting something in your mouth. It has that oral fixation kind of component to it. And that is one of the harder things to get over, because you have that fixation of putting something to your lips all the time, and you get that sort of pleasure response from doing that. And so, like my friend, she's gone with the vapor thing too. And by the way, Janelle, congratulations on that as well. And so she's started to down the tobacco strength of her vapes, because she's found that she's vaping right now as well, in addition, trying to quit smoking, and she's found that she's lowering the tobacco levels or the nicotine levels to try to get off that as well. There's a huge difference from normal smoke and vapor. Well, again, wait and see. I think anything you put in your lungs that's not oxygen is probably is bad for you in one way or the other. Varying degrees of bad. I'm not saying that it's going to kill you right away, but I mean, I think anything you put in your lungs, and I've done it too. I'm not absolving myself of it, but I think anything you put in your lungs that's not oxygen is probably not the most healthy thing to put in your lungs. I'm just saying. You put water in your lungs, bad things happen, you know? Yeah, and that's the thing, Janelle. A lot of people, I think the good way to go is to go from smoking to vaping to maybe some of the oral stuff, maybe some of the like the Zyn or the little pouches type stuff, where you get that nicotine, but it has it has no smoke or inhalant component to it, and then hopefully you can get off everything. But nicotine's a demon. I tell you, nicotine, like I said before, I think nicotine's a bigger demon than some drugs that are out there. And I think one of the reasons it's harder to get off of is because it's so readily accessible to people as well. So, it's a nicodemon. Yeah, it's a nicodemon. I hear more ptarmigans. And they sound like they're glitched. Oh, ptarmigans, where are you? But congratulations to all of you who've been able to reduce, go to vapes, go to orals, whatever it is, you know, congratulations for getting off the cigarettes. It is a tough road to hoe. My dad, he died of small cell lung cancer that metastasized into his pancreas and his liver and his brain. And this March, it'll be 14 years since my dad passed. And even though he did all of that, he lived till he was in his 70s. He probably could have lived even longer if he had not smoked or anything. So, hey, we got all 4. 4 for 4, baby. Woo, let's go.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Yes, it is, my friend. Yes, it is. And that's the whole point. We want it nice and fat. I once read nicotine's more addictive than heroin. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. Nicotine's bad stuff. But how you doing, Nate? Hello, how's it going today? I hope you and Cass are doing good. Same here, my father passed away from lung cancer about 7 years ago. Yep. But you know, Nate, probably your father, my father, you know, a lot of our parents, they grew up in that generation where smoking was sort of the norm. I mean, that was something everybody did. You know, and even if they didn't smoke themselves, they lived in a household. I mean, how many of you here remember your dad or mom smoking in the house all the time? My dad smoked in the house like a chimney. He smoked in the house so much that you could walk into the living room and there was like a layer of smoke like 2 feet away from the ceiling. Because there was no ventilation. That was just the norm. It wasn't right, but it was just the norm. It's just what, you know, it's just what we had. It's just what they knew. And that's the thing with vapes, is like vapes have only been around for a couple decades now. And I don't think there's enough data out there to really say vapes are harmful or not. I think they're a better alternative to smoking cigarettes. I don't know about the long-term effects. I would recommend that anybody who's on vapes, you know, use it as a tool to get off of cigarettes and then try to move on to not smoking at all. You know, but I think they're better than cigarettes are. Because with cigarettes, you also got the nicotine, you got the tar and all those carcinogens and stuff like that going into you too. But like I said in my first statement, anything you put in your lungs that isn't oxygen probably doesn't belong there. It just, you know, it just is. Yeah, you started smoking in the 70s. Everybody smoked around kids. Yeah, we didn't know better then. And I think vapes are kind of in that area right now. Nobody knows better. Nobody knows the long-term effect of them. I mean, I'm sure 30, 40 years from now, we'll start to see the long-term effect of them, because you got to remember that the kids who are 20, 21, 22, they're now starting to smoke vapes in a lot larger quantities. Vapes are like the new cigarette of the generation now. And so we aren't going to see it for 40 years or so from now, when those kids are now in their 50s and 60s. We won't really see what's happening to them. You know, we won't really see the effects. God, in 40 years, I'll be 93. I may not even be around to see the effects of them. Although in about 15, 20 years, they'll probably come up with technology that allows us to replace our body parts with nanotech, which will let us live for, you know, 100 years longer or something, you know. So, that'll be nice. Here's me holding out hope for life-extending things. They'll be able to give me a new liver with nanotech, give me a new heart, you know. Remember on cartoon shows seeing Fred Flintstone selling cigarettes. Not that far off the mark. Really? Did I not get a full kilo off of these? I did get a full kilo. So what am I missing? Am I just missing the water? I'm just missing the water. I'm missing water. Yeah, it takes years to see what stuff does, because that stuff is not like it's not like it's hard radiation where, you know, they know that if you're exposed to hard radiation, you're going to see effects of it within, you know, a month or whatever. You know, you're going to see it a month from now. Stuff like, you know, stuff that affects us over long terms, it takes long term to see it. And you know, we won't know for a long time. We're all meant to die at some point. If we all live together forever, what are we gonna do? Exactly. That's what the you know, that's what the Anne Rice books, the Anne Rice vampire books were really about back in the day. That's what the whole vampire. That's what I liked about the Anne Rice books of the vampire. Was that showing how miserable most vampires got after a while. You know, this whole idea of living forever seems really great for a while. And then, you know, a couple hundred years in, most vampires were kind of over it. To the point where some of them would actually sacrifice themselves into the sun. They would just go out in the sun and take themselves out because they were like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's not worth it. TV Tropes talks about living forever and how much it sucks. Well, and the thing is that the longer lifespans you have, the less innovation comes about as well, I think. There's two things that actually spur, in my opinion, that really spur innovation in society. One of them, unfortunately, is war. War is one of the biggest innovators that we have. The other one is our short lifespans. Our short lifespans really want to make us, like, want to innovate things to make our lives easier in the short amount of time we have that carry over to future generations. Now, if we could get rid of war, that'd be great, but unfortunately, people kind of suck. Let's go ahead and add another piece of reclaimed wood to that. Requiem for Methuselah, Star Trek TOS. They found out immortality sucks. Well, you know, it kind of does in a way. I don't think I'd want to live forever. It seems good on the surface, but think about it. You're the only one who's gonna live forever. You know, you even look at a show like Altered Carbon. I mean, where people basically could live forever. But guess what? It was only the elites. Only the elites lived forever. Not everybody. Most people did not live forever. Think of all the new people you'd meet. I get annoyed by people nowadays, Alice. I don't know how I'd handle new people that I'd have to meet. How would I deal with that? For example, Greenland sharks live up to 500 years. What do you do for 500 years? Well, sharks are pretty much eating and pooping machines, so this is our testing ground. We're supposed to move on. Yeah, I believe there's something after this life. I do. This is not the end. It's like Gandalf said. This is only the beginning. One of the many great little monologues that Gandalf would have with the hobbits, you know, where they're on the walls of Minas Tirith, and you know, and he's sheltering with was it Pippin? Yeah, with Pippin. Yeah, he's sheltering with Pippin there, and it looks like it's the end. And Pippin's all scared of death, and Gandalf is just like so kind to him, and just so, that little speech he gave about, you know, how this isn't the end. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of everything to come afterwards. If If I live 500 years, I might not get lost in Mystery Lake anymore. Hey, that could be something, you know. That could be something. All right. Yeah, it is starting to slow me down. I got a lot of crap on me right now. Let's go ahead and put the cedar in there. Let's take this bench. We now have cabin fever, not a surprise. We've been holed up in cabins for a while. In 500 years, I might get bored of Long Dark. Not if they keep updating it. Not if they keep giving me updates, I won't get bored of it. When the scientists at CERN had mass visions of supernatural things, you have to wonder, atheists turn religious real quick. Well, we are in the caterpillar stage. Yes, we are. I'm of the belief that there's too much inherent in the design of everything around us to just be random. There's my hot take. I just think there's too much that is not it doesn't seem like it could all just happen by randomness, but maybe it could. I mean, you know, maybe it could. Maybe that's a simplistic me looking at it, but hey, did you take a look at that video I sent you on Discord, the one with Andy Samberg and Nicolas Cage? I have not yet, no. I have not taken a look at that, Riny Beef. Let me make a note of that. Riny video on Discord. To be honest, I don't get on Discord a lot. I'm like the worst content creator ever. I don't get on much social media. Like, social media's there, and I'm kind of like, okay. Oh, what's our cabin fever at? Cabin fever's getting a little high. There is a cave that's up over here, but I think what we're going to do is we're up here. There's a cave that's over here that we could go to, that we could get rid of some of this cabin fever at. That's what Albert Einstein said, that's too mathematically precise to not be designed. Yeah, and you know, and whether you believe in God, aliens, whatever it is, you know, I think there's some. I don't think there's no point to it all. It would be, to me, it would be kind of a sad world if there was no point to it all. I think there's something greater going on beneath everything. 2 a.m. woke up by a leg cramp. 3 a.m. woke up again by a foot cramp. 5 a.m. woke up, took pain meds. Woke up at 7 to use the bathroom. Such a fun morning. Oh wow, that sounds like a banner morning for you, bad boy gamer. I am so sorry you have to go through that. That sucks. Well, I definitely will. I got a note for it, Riny, so I'll definitely take a look at it after we get done streaming tonight. Because I now have a note. If I don't make a note for myself, I'll never remember. I'm just that kind of horrible person. Okay. We're all in the Matrix. Ooh, hey, maybe, you know, even Neil deGrasse. I think it was deGrasse Tyson or somebody else who postulated sometime, you know, where if we were on a world in an experiment done by aliens, how would we know? You know, that we aren't a world, an experiment done by somebody else who created a tiny universe. Like some kid and some alien kid created a tiny universe and then just forgot about us, and we now just, like, you know, we've just been going on for the last, you know, 50,000 years or whatever. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, I actually have full-blown cabin fever now. I haven't had full-blown cabin fever in a while. That's pretty awesome. Unholy Phoenix with the sub from Prime. Thank you so much. That's pretty cool.
Phoenix just subscribed.
Well, we definitely have to go spend time outside now because we cannot spend time indoors any longer at all. I think we're taking everything from this place, aren't we? Yes, we are. Including our crappy bow, which is in really bad shape. But that's all right, because I don't care. We Are Gods High School Science Experiment. Possibly. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe 42, yep. 42, baby. Thank you, Unholy Phoenix, though, for the sub there. I do appreciate that, for the Twitch Prime sub. Don't forget, boys and girls, you can use Twitch Prime as well if you have an Amazon Prime account and you're in a country that allows it. You can link your Twitch and your Amazon account together using that link there. And you can sub to a channel every month for free. It doesn't cost you anything more than your Amazon Prime already costs you, so. There you go. This area over here always baffles me. It always baffles me what is up with this area. I almost think this might be... I think this might be one of the places where we might be able to get to the mountain pass. The next zone is from this area here. Because it's like, there's like nothing over here. There's a rope climb over here. There's a rope climb that goes off on this side. But then there's nothing over here. It's confusing. Deep thoughts on the stream today. Yes, we're deep thoughting, oh my stars. Some days we deep thought. Most days we just think around and do nothing. You turn it up since it's just music right now. It's not doing the high wind sounds. It's got good music going on. I hate leg cramps, especially when you wake up with one and you're like, oh, you're literally like paralyzed by it. It's so awful. So awful. Wizad subbed up for 23 months using that beautiful Twitch Prime there. Thank you for using that Prime sub. Deep Thought was the name of the computer in Hitchhiker's Galaxy. Yes, it was, wasn't it? It was, as a matter of fact.
Wizard23 just resubscribed.
Wizard, thank you so much for that beautiful resub there. Appreciate that very, very much.
Fingers feel numb.
Of course they feel numb, but that's okay. You're gonna be fine, buddy. See, there's just like this place over here. It's like this place that doesn't belong.
So cool. Just want to lay down for a bit.
Wizard, you're welcome, my man. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming by and hanging out with us all. Well, there are 2 fishing huts in the game, but they're not, like, really easy to get to. You got the fishing hut here, and then there's another one on the other side of Drift Island. That's the only one. I am wearing Mackenzie's maple hat. Yes, I am. See, here's Will Mackenzie,
I can barely walk.
and I'm wearing the same hat. I think mine's better though because it has a bear on the backside. So I'm just picking up some sticks as we go because why not? Okay, so that's got all of that. So I don't need to map here anymore. We're going to lose a little bit of health today, but we have 23 hours to spend outside still. To get rid of cabin fever. We were naughty, naughty boys and girls, and we slept indoors for way too long. I do have a couple pieces of coal on me still. Yes, I do. Okay. I can drop that. Whoops, I can drop that. There we go. Oh, Jesus Christ. Thank you for the bear apocalypse there. There should be more caves along these walls, too. That's the other thing that's always annoying me. Oh, we're at that weight. Okay, so let's eat a ruined rabbit pie. Is there anything on the back of the Canada hoodie? The Canada hoodie that you got me? I don't know. Is there anything on the back of it? Nope, nothing on the back of it. This was the Canada hoodie that Rhiney got me. It's very comfy. I wear it on cold days when there's a little chill in the house. There's a little bit of a chill in the house. I wear that. There's been a few days like that too. I'm gonna climb up on this hill here and do another map real quick. We don't have this maple on the map. There we go. Saves on the heating bill. Hey, Honora! Yes, it saves on the heating bill. For sure. Alrighty. And we're about 20 minutes away, boys and girls. We'll be doing some Subnautica soon. And we'll be doing that for about 3 hours. And then we will be switching over and we're going to start a little Civilization 6 up later today as well. And if you don't own Civilization 6 yet, if you've ever watched me or Hadrian play it, and you've been like, God, that looks like a fun game. And then you go and you look at the price, and you're like, holy crap, with all the expansions, it's like 150 bucks. Never mind. Right now, it is on sale. You can get the entire game and expansion pack for like 30 or 35 bucks. It's really cheap. It's really super cheap right now. It's like 90%. It's like 88 to 90% off or something like that. So it's very, very affordable now. Well, all of the expansions are on sale at the moment. So, like I said, if you've ever thought about getting it, now is the time. Because you'll not find it cheaper. I mean, unless they give it away free again on Epic or something. But it's not going to be cheaper than it is cost-wise. Elcor, you getting going? All right, have a good one, man. See you later on. Thank you for coming by, Elcor. Take care, buddy. I'm gonna map up right here real quick. I don't want to get hypothermia. We're gonna have to watch that as well. Yeah, our hypothermia risk is pretty high. So let's get over here and get warmed up. We'll move down a little further. We'll get a map. We'll find a place to map, and then we'll light a fire and get warmed up. We're kind of living on the edge right now, boys and girls. I do have that thermos, so we could heat some coffees up. We could heat some coffee up, put it in the thermos, and then walk on and then we'd be walking with warmth, which would probably help us a bunch. I'm gonna go right up in here. See if I can light a fire. What's your question, Mr. Crooks? What is your question, my friend? All right, let's get a fire going right in here. This is a good little hollow depression. Maglins, yes. Accelerant, yes. Let's go fire. You're new to Long Dark. Awesome. Great to have you along. Can you hunt big game with the bow? Oh heck yeah, that's all I hunt with the bow. That's all I hunt is the big game with the bow. All right, there we go. But yes, you can hunt all the game with the bow. You can hunt bears, wolves, moose, everything. Now, when you're playing Interloper, you can only hunt with the bow. The only two weapons you have in Interloper are the flares and the bow. So you have to use that to hunt. Okay, I got 4 coffees right now. So yes, all the game you can hunt with the bow. And it's actually very... I personally find hunting with the bow to be very, very satisfying. Yep, the broth is warming up. Beautiful. Let's get a little bit of... let's get some rose hips prepared up as well. Cook the lower conditioned coffee first. I'm gonna get all these coffees heated up. Jiggle them all once. Give them the little jiggle jiggle. Oh, I have no more water, do I? No, I do not. I'm actually going to cook up the pork and beans, because I'll eat that. Now, these were 0% pork and beans, so we're heating them up mainly to get the, the warmth and the food out of it. I also have 2 tigers that's 3/4 tall, not full grown. They're right beside me sleeping right now. Whoa, dang. Ath needs a cat, one with the same cat attitude. I don't need a cat, no. I don't need a cat. I would need a hypoallergenic cat if I got one. 'Cause I have cat allergies. Alright, let's drop that on the ground. There we go. So all of our teas, okay, so everything's good there. Let's go ahead and get a little water going here. Things nice and hot, hot, hot. It's going hot, hot, hot. Beetlebee, how are you doing today? Hello, hello. Getting jiggy with it. Getting jiggy with it. Getting jiggy with it. Before Will Smith became not Will Smith anymore. Back when Will Smith was still a man. Sorry, Will. Just spitting it out like it is. Alright, we got our hypothermia healed. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'll be 8. I'm gonna eat this hot thing of beans. Couldn't eat it all, that's okay. And I'm gonna drink a coffee. I'm gonna put all these hot coffees in me thermos. There we go. Now when you look at the thermos, it has a hot meter on it. So we can get the hot meter going.
Out of gear.
Teresa! Oh, you've been sleeping off the ick. Oh no! Not that icky stuff. Yeah, those pies kind of override everything. Alright. We already mapped here, right? Yeah, we did. Okay. But happy to have you here, Teresa. I hope you're feeling better. Hope you're feeling a little bit better. Hot beans and coffee is exactly what you're eating for lunch right now. Wow, which means you're going to be having hot beans coming out of somewhere. There's going to be something hot coming somewhere else later on. You know what I'm saying? Will Smith used to be so cool. I loved Will Smith back in the day. I have 5 kids. I'll change diapers every day, then deal with teen angst. Hey, hey. I didn't want to do this, Mr. Wolf. I didn't want to do that, sir. You made me. Look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. What you made me do. Once you got the worms with only 1%, yeah, that's all it takes is 1%. Don't you realize that 1% is 99% chance of getting it? Where's my cup of coffee? There it is. Drink that down. Yum, yum. At least it's warmed up now. That's the good thing. You notice the temperature's gone down to 1 arrow down. So that's good news. That's good news for us. It doesn't look like a storm's coming. Fresh Prince turned into an old queen. You know when you take your animals to the vet to have them so they can't have children anymore? Yeah, that's sort of what happened to him. It's sad but true. Because I loved the man. I loved him in Independence Day, Fresh Prince. I even loved him in Wild Wild West, Men in Black. I mean, he did what most people could never dream of doing. He crossed over from music into movies and into TV shows and movies. You know, he did what most people could never ever, you know, accomplish career-wise. And it's just sad the decline, you know. Men in Black is fire for sure. Men in Black is one of my top movies. It's up there. It's definitely up there. I mean, having Tommy Lee in that is great. You know, having Tommy Lee Jones in that is great too. So. When I first tried this game after I bought it, I got everything that you could possibly have go wrong for you in the game. All at the same time. It lasted 15 minutes longer than a streamer friend thought I would. All at the same time, I lasted 15 minutes longer than a streamer friend thought I would. Well, it is the whole industry, Larry, but he's a shining example of what's wrong. I think there's a cave right over here. I'm pretty sure there is one. So we're going to map right here because it's warm. Yep, there's a cave right over here. Yep. We're right close to the cave. We made it, boys and girls. Shaq beat him. He went from basketball player who can't shoot a basketball to an actor that can't act. I think Shaq wasn't too bad at basketball, wasn't he? He was okay. He was a big guy. Shaq was a big boy. There's definitely a certain point where being a big boy in basketball, you can almost be too big for your own good. It's a shame MIB is over. Yeah, we don't need a reboot of that. No. The later, I mean, MIB 1 and 2 were okay, and then it kind of all went downhill after that. They did an MIB 3, didn't they? I think I may have seen it. All I remember is that the first two were the only ones that were worth watching. The sudden washout. Dude, were you suddenly washed out? Shaq could block shots. There we go. Shaq can block.
Feels like night is coming.
All right. Well, it sure seems like ChatGTP is giving a lot of scripts. I mean, look at Starfield. Starfield, I bet you probably 5 or 6 years from now, when it all comes out on how Starfield was made, I could almost bet they will say, yeah, we used AI for a lot of the voices. A lot of the voices in Starfield were all AI voices. That was all AI. Because it sure felt like it. It sure felt like AI. Hey, look at that. We made it to arcade, boys and girls. So we're getting this top. We got the top half here done. Now we just need to work around to this side. Because I'm pretty sure this Polaroid just covers like this. I'm pretty sure it doesn't uncover that. It definitely does not uncover Drift Island. So... yeah, I think they did a third Men in Black. It didn't do very well. Let's see, Men in Black. Yep, they did a Men in Black 3 in 2012, and they did Men in Black International in 2019. They did Men in Black International in 2019. Oh, and it had a girl boss in it. Of course it did. Of course it did. Because why wouldn't you have a... oh, it had Tessa Thompson. Oh, yeah, she's insufferable. She is absolutely insufferable. I wonder how much that movie made. I wonder if it made any money. Box office. I just have this feeling it probably... it grossed $254 million worldwide. But the question is, how much did it cost to make? That is where it only did $80 million domestically. The budget was $110 million. It did $253 million. But you always have to remember, even though the budget was $110 million, that does not include this little hidden cost they throw in there. That does not include the marketing that goes into a movie. If a movie costs $110 million to make, I would imagine they probably spent another $50 to $60 million easily on marketing, if not more. So the movie probably was $150 to $160 million to make, and it made $253 million worldwide. Larry, have a good one, buddy. Have a good one, my friend. So even then, the movie was not a roaring success, that's for sure. It made $100 million though, and it's better than a lot of movies that are coming out now that are losing money. That are losing it. All right, let's get a little rest here.
Be able to carry this load for much longer.
My bad, I'm work, so I'm touch and go. But thanks for the reply about the bow. I thought I needed a gun for small game, so I left my camp at Mystery Lake for a trip to Milton. Good to know I only need to craft a bow. Yep, you only need the bow. The bow is the only thing you need, Mr. Crooks. That's the only thing you need. I mean, it's nice to have the gun and stuff, but, you know, it's not bad. Wasn't Liam Neeson in it? Chris Hemsworth was in the new Men in Black. Chris Hemsworth in 2019. That shows you that there are no movie stars really anymore. Because back in the old days, Chris Hemsworth would have been a huge movie star. Anything he showed up in would be box office, you know, money. But Chris Hemsworth in a 2019 movie that went nowhere, I mean, you know, that made a little bit of money, but didn't, like, blow the doors off. That's kind of funny. But anyway, we're going to wrap up Long Dark here, because guess what? Guess what, boys and girls? It's time to become the captain of the sea and start our Subnautica fun. Because we have a Subnautica run going. So we're gonna start it. We're gonna cut off the YouTube stream here. We're gonna restart it. Don't worry. We're gonna start back up on YouTube, but we're gonna start it up with our Subnautica 2024 edition. Hi ho, hi ho, bad boy gamer. Go get some sleep, man. Go get some sleep. So YouTubers, I will be back in 2 and 2. I'll see you soon. We got to change stream titles and stuff too. Bye, YouTube. See you soon.